Yeah,
So
sure.
before working with us, right,
Uh-huh.
you had been trying to become a director for a long time, right? You were a senior manager. Where was it? It was at T-Mobile,
Yeah, I was at T-Mobile, and then before at Ariba,
mm-hmm.
and then before at
SAP. Mm-hmm.
Shutterfly, SAP Ariba. Before that, before T-Mobile, it was SAP Ariba. Before that, it was at Shutterfly. Before it started at Citrix. So
How
I was a senior manager for almost like 10 years, and I was trying hard for the last 3.5 years to get into a director role. So it became clear to me that the path inside T-Mobile was not really
mm-hmm.
conducive for that. So when I had this opportunity, I thought, I had another offer, as you know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Hard
Offer.
to turn down an
Yes.
offer too. I remember you thinking about enrolling. You're like, hey, it's a
Yeah,
lateral move, similar
yeah,
things.
yeah,
And
yeah. So it was time I decided, like, not start. And with your, obviously, with your great advice, is I think you really, opened up the third eye, or what should I say?
yeah,
You really,
sure.
gave me the shot in the arm, saying that it's time to not make lateral moves anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the chance to look for the next level. But of course, I didn't realize that I was heading head on into rough weather, into the pandemic. The pandemic had just started, right?
Yeah. And
So
then remember too, and it's just, yeah. At what point did you say I need help though? Because you had been trying for like 3 years. So when did it finally click to say, hey, I need to hire someone to help me? Because this is something you were trying to do for a long time, was to reach that next level.
right, right. So I think when I was getting out of T-Mobile, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's when I decided that, when I had basically, I was applying on my by myself. I was looking at LinkedIn posts.
I
So
remember,
things were
man,
really not working out. And because I realized very soon, and I think I realized very soon, because of when I'm looking at other profiles, right, on LinkedIn.
mm-hmm.
I could see the one of the problems was projection, right? Self
Yeah,
projection and the confidence, right?
not
And
branding yourself as
the,
the leader that you
right.
know you are
And
throughout
so
your
the
career.
very first call with you, I think what I got, what came out very, very, very strongly was that the confidence angle that you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you are so confident that you could get me there, right? So
Yeah,
that's what really decided, okay, let's go for this. I know in
yeah,
the very first call, it was not a pitching call at all, and you told me, right, that it's no point in making a lateral move, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be there, and I can get you there. And you sounded so confident. And you also talked to me in the second call that it's a matter of projection, it's a matter of confidence, and you have a clear recipe for success. And we also had Shantanu's example, right?
yeah.
That really,
Shantanu.
that really, that
Yeah,
really made me, that really made me,
excited.
sort of not only take up the join the program, but also you helped me through declining the other offer, which I already accepted.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is, you know, I want to back up for a sec because I remember what you shared with me before we worked together is you were staying up. I remember this, that you were staying up till almost 2 o'clock in the morning for 3 months, changing your resume to fit every single job you applied for.
Yep, yep, absolutely. Yeah, because I got into this. I'd worked with this recruiter
Mm-hmm.
before I met you, about 3 months before, and she said the only way to get a job at a director level was to tweak your resume for every single job. And it took me like a few months, even after I joined the program, to get out of that habit.
Yeah.
I was doing that, if you remember, even after I joined the program, until I
Yeah.
said this isn't working really. But
Yeah.
I got into this really bad habit of working till 3 a.m. in the night, tweaking my resumes, just to add those keywords and all that. And at the end of the day, it was getting me
Nothing
interviews,
was,
fine, but nothing was working out, because it's not just the interviews, right?
yeah,
It's
it's
basically
the
how
prep
you
and
project
everything.
yourself,
Exactly.
how you craft a story, right, and how you basically summarize, and how you do that 45-second pitch, which
Yeah.
is which is so awesome.
And and now you find yourself in a director role at one of the largest companies predominantly in the world, making, multiple six figures really. How do you feel, man? Imagine if you would have accepted that position previously, like where you would be now. You'd be at the same exact place.
Yep, I would be the same place, and waiting. I would have felt myself as not being motivated, and I would have had to quit again or something like that. But
Hmm.
I think this was awesome, because I couldn't have imagined in my wildest dreams, that
Hmm.
I would land my dream job
Hmm.
in India, which also lets me be close to family. Plus,
Yeah.
it's also a director role, right?
Hmm.
At a company like Thermo Fisher, and it doesn't get a bigger brand than that, right?
Yeah. So
And
while working together, what did you find most valuable? What was it? Was it the mindset? Was it the
I
group
think
calls? Was it the interview prep? What do
I
you
think
think if you had to pick
I
one
was
thing?
I was low on confidence, as you
Yeah.
know, right? I was low on confidence. So the immediate thing that you had to do was the pitch, right?
Hmm.
The 45-second, what do you call that? The 60-second,
The elevator pitch, the intro pitch.
the
Yep.
introduction, that really helped. But I think what really started really making a big difference was the projection, and your those coaching calls with you. That's why I made sure that I had you for every single coaching call, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's a phenomenal difference, because just by talking to you, even though I had those jitters, and I was very worried, right? But just after talking to you, I would feel a lot more calmer, and I would steal some of your lines. and and this started really making a difference when I started getting into those C-level calls,
Yeah.
which was and my first C-level calls, as you know, happened in this
Mhm.
program.
Yeah. I remember what you said specifically one time. You said before you brought it up on a coaching session, you're like, before joining this program, I think I talked to like two C-suite people before, and you were so scared, and you were like, since I've been in this program, I've talked to so many C-suite people, it's kind of
Yeah,
ridiculous.
the
You
C-suite started at Avalara, and it just continued on there,
yeah,
and I was only dealing with CTOs and CEOs for a while.
yeah. Because we had to get you in front of people that could actually hire you, and I'm
Right,
really glad
right.
it.
And
So
the beauty of this is even the automation. I didn't even have to rely on
yeah,
automation, because
yep,
even before the automation, the wheels were already spinning, right?
yeah.
So automation helped me get in front of some more CTOs, a
Hmm.
few more CTOs, but the whole by that time, the recruiter, the elevator pitch was automatically taking care
Yeah,
of itself.
yeah. So, what advice would you have for someone who's considering working with us? Because I remember when you first started, I had to talk to you, and of course, you were skeptical. And even after you saw Shant News and everything, testimonial and all of that. If we had someone right here next to me right now, what would you say to them if they were considering working with us
Yeah, so
after your experience?
I think if it's after my experience, I think, because I come from an IT background, right?
Yeah,
So my main concern was, uh, and IT interviews get technical, and I knew that the program really can't help in terms of the technicalities of
yeah,
an IT interview, because IT interviews can get really technical. But
yeah.
when you're looking at director level, or when you're looking at VP level, it's not so much about technology.
Hmm.
Technology is, I think, you don't I would say, don't worry too much about technology. It's about strategy, it's about positioning yourself, it's about projecting yourself. It's more about strategy, right?
Hmm.
And that's where I think I would say is, no one should bat an eyelid, and they should right away jump into the program, because we have had a lot of successful IT leaders join the program since I started,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
And it's all about projecting yourself, having a LinkedIn presence, and
hmm,
it's all about articulating your points of opinion, your opinions, and basically, making points, keeping making comments, and posting
yeah,
stuff on what you believe. And that's what makes is more important than the technical. So the technical stuff is really something that you can read up on your own,
yeah,
and you don't need to rely on the program for that.
yeah,
What you need the program is the additional, the soft skills, the projection skills, the confidence, the strategy, and then talking about problem solutions and all those other strategies.
yeah. Hmm.
Those are the things that are going to be important to land you the actual C-level calls and land you the actual offers. So
Awesome.
I think the program has evolved since I started into more marketing and
Hmm.
operations
Yeah.
targeted. I think
Hmm.
it is now evolved to target IT as well, which is a great evolution in the program. And I think the program cannot. I think now you could confidently approach folks on the IT side. They have enough success stories, including me, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
to say that this is not something just geared for marketing or sales guys.
yeah. We've helped people, as you've seen, Sanjeev at Subway, people in IT, sales operation, lawyers, fashion designers, freaking everything. So, hey, I'm really excited. Everything worked out for you, and I wish you the
Right.
best of
And
success in your.
Sanjeev was also another motivating factor for me,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, yeah.